Let's go back in time. Let's go back 3 years ago, November 3rd, 2020. Me and my son, we went in and we both voted for the first time. And we voted for Trump. But what I was saying was, don't pick. Don't pick a side. Even though Trump will lose initially, me and my sons vote for Donald Trump and Pence. So what I'm saying is, Pennsylvania will be a tie, thanks to me and Christian's vote today. But it wasn't. Had nothing to do with it. What I am saying is, Trump will come back. Trump will come back after this deadly wound to the head. After this deadly wound to the head is healed by handling losing. So he's going to come back after this deadly wound. 3 years ago, right? It could have been anybody else in the news, but it just so happens that Donald Trump.
They love their family. They love their family, and they.
7 days ago.
In many ways, I love $29 donors more than 17th. I love those big, fat, beautiful $1 million donors.
2024.
Death and.
Today is May 25th, 2024, 8:28 p.m. So I want to establish in this video from the beginning that I voted for Donald Trump once. I don't need to vote for him again. I already voted for him back here. Voted for him and said he's going to come back. But that's not until after this deadly wound to the head is healed. He's going to handle losing. The mail-in ballots were hidden away with Trump's name on them by the gang stalk corporation behind the scenes. What I'm saying is it'll be held up for 3 weeks. It'll be held up for 3 weeks. But really it's 3 years. Because 3 full years to the fullest. 3 years and then 364 days and 365 days becomes 4 years. So he's going to be held up for 3, I said weeks, but weeks, days, years. And so the other stuff didn't happen, but I'm talking about it, and this is what I did. I got rejected. It's a minute long, not even. Rejected. An alarm went off. Okay. 303 warning. 303 warning.
Yeah, I think you're all right. Yeah, you're all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for voting.
You're welcome. Hassle-free. I love when it's hassle-free. But mask.
Have a good night.
So, 7 days ago, right off the bat, Donald Trump talks about the teleprompters, admitting that they're there. Obviously, you're reading from it, obviously. And it's something that But I've always thought, why don't people just stop acting like they're reading the teleprompter? Everybody knows you're reading it. So respect that about Trump to start off right away.
I didn't pay the bill. You know, I get a lot of heat. I got a teleprompter that's gone. This one's almost gone, but we've been there before. Supposing that happened to Biden, you know what happens? He'd go like this. Bye.
Let you know, in case you didn't. Yeah, they're still laughing at you. You're such a nerd. Hey, man.
Do whatever you say, Trump.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. We're going to dinner. All right.
Stay here with you for an hour. We'll have some fun. But I want to thank Tom, and he's been an amazing guy, actually. We've gotten to know each other mostly over the last year. And
2021.
His wife is even more amazing. She's so great. She's been with me, and she convinced him to be with me, and now he's more with me than her, and it's a very complex relationship. And no, they're two great people, and thank you very much. Thank you, Tom, for a great job. Very respected in Washington. But I wanted you to start off by saying, hello, Minnesota. This is a great state. We're going to win this state. 1952. Can you imagine? I thought we won it in 2016. I thought we won it in, I know we won it in 2020.
I want to show you something. Here comes the waterfall. I don't know. I think you got like 2 minutes left. There's that building that, to me, it looks like on the back of a $50 bill.
Bone dry in 2020, 12 seconds in. 1 minute and 30 seconds in. Like Moses striking the rock.
Fountains of water.
Mostly over the last year, and his wife is even more amazing. She's so great. She's been with me, and she convinced him to be with me, and now he's more with me than her, and it's a very complex relationship. And no, they're two great people, and thank you very much. Thank you, Tom, for a great job. Very respected in Washington. But I wanted you to start off by saying, hello, Minnesota. This is a great state. We're going to win this state. 1952. Can you imagine?
I want to show you something.
I thought we won it in 2016. I thought we won it in...
What do you show?
We won it in...
Well, the water's going to recede.
We gotta
rise back up again.
We gotta be careful. We gotta watch those votes. You know, we don't need the votes. We gotta watch the votes. That's the big danger.
So just like on
I'm here tonight to declare that we're officially expanding the. This is an official expansion, Tom, of the electoral map. We're going to put this because this is so in place. Did you see? 2 polls came out. One had me 1 point behind. One had me 2 points up. And another one's coming out tomorrow. And the word is that I'm 2 points up. I don't know if that's good or bad. How are you 2 points up to Biden? He can't talk. He can't walk. Can't find his way off a stage. Can't put two sentences together. Although he has agreed
Lower
to
the
debate,
temperature.
so I don't know. Maybe
See
they
each
know
other again.
something.
Listen to each other again.
So jacked up for those debates,
and to make progress, stop treating our opponents as enemies. They are not our enemies. We are our own worst enemies. We're Americans. The Bible tells us everything's a season, time to build, time to reap, and time to sow, and time to heal. This is the time not to tell the truth. It's a time for lying, time for healing. It's time for that 9/11 to blow up. Anyway,
David Hand for the incredible job that you do, David. Thank you.
David Hand.
Really good man. David, are we going to win? What do you think?
Absolutely.
You're an important guy. Yeah. He may be the most important guy in the room, Tom. I'm sorry. You know?
I bet he...
Hey, whatever it takes. You know, whatever it
Henry.
takes. But thank you.
It's something about the name Henry, and then When I tell you that
Good evening.
Trump,
I'd like to provide the American people with an update on our efforts to protect the integrity of our very important 2020 election. If you count the legal
when I tell you
votes,
Trump is going to win,
I easily win. If you count the
November
illegal
8th,
votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're
Trump
looking at that very
addresses
strongly. A lot
Biden
of
to
votes
win
late, but a lot of votes came
before
in
he
late.
won.
I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio. To name just a few, we won these and many other victories despite historic election interference from big media, big money, and big tech. As everybody saw, we won by you. And thank you to you, your beautiful wife. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we're really counting on you to do the job. As we'll give you the ammunition, and I think you will do it based on everything we're seeing. A very good friend in the room, Tom. I'm sorry. You know, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. But thank you, and thank you to you, your beautiful wife. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and we're really counting on you to do the job. As we'll give you the ammunition, and I think you will do it based on everything we're seeing. A very good friend of mine, one of the great governors of the country, Doug Burgum, as you know, from North Dakota. Thank you, Doug. The best hockey player in the history of Congress, there's no question about it, Pete Stauber, my friend. A congresswoman who's a patriot and a real fighter, and she's always been with me right from the beginning, Michelle Fischbach. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. And the greatest purchaser of advertising in the history of the country. There's never been, I don't know, his pillows are excellent, but I'm more impressed with the purchasing. If he could buy my ads, you'd never, for what I spend, you would never have any empty spot without a Trump ad. This guy's a greasing. If he could buy my ads, you'd sing. If he could buy my ads, you'd sing. If he could buy my ads, you'd never. And it's beautiful. Have any empty, I don't know, his pillows are excellent. A congresswoman who's a patriot and a real fighter, and she's always been with me right from the beginning, Michelle Fischbach. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. And the greatest purchaser of advertising in the history of the country. There's never been, I don't know, his pillows are excellent, but I'm more impressed with the purchasing. If he could buy my ads, you'd never, for what I spend, you would never have any empty space. If he could buy my ads, you'd never, for what I spend, you would never have any empty spot without a Trump ad. This guy's the greatest buyer of ads in history, Mike Lindell. And his beautiful, just married, beautiful new wife. Thank you very much for being with us. That's great. It's a beautiful couple. I've said that a lot before, but this time I know it's perfect. I've said so many times, what a beautiful couple. 2 weeks later, how you doing? Well, we broke up. That one's never breaking up. But Mike, it is true, though. He had a commercial. You know, you call up. That one's never breaking up. But Mike, it is true, though. He had a commercial. You know, you call up like the networks. You call up Fox. They do a 30-second commercial. A minute is very hard to buy. This guy has commercials that last 10 minutes. They never stop. And now he sells pillows and he sells sneakers. He sells anything. And we love him. He's a special guy. He's gone to, how many rallies have you come to? This, over 100, yeah. No, it's amazing. He's our friend. And he does it out of love, and we love him. With the help of everyone here tonight, we're going to take back the White House, and we are going to make America great again. We're going to do it. Two days ago, it was announced that inflation in April continued to rage at a brutal 3.4 annual rate. Nobody can believe it because they're just not stopping it. That's above the probably 30 points that you picked up over the last couple of years, this is a level that people have not seen before. Consumer prices just hit an all-time high. And since crooked Joe Biden, and he is crooked, he's the worst president in the history of the country. How we can be 1 point down or 2 points up in Minnesota to this guy, I don't know. There's only one way it can happen. They cheat. That's the only way. That's the only way. Some people like it, some people don't, but that's the way it is. Sorry to tell you. And I never use the word folks. You know why? That's all he uses. Do you ever watch? Folks, folks, folks.
You're not going to get one. Folks, our work begins with getting COVID under control. We cannot repair the economy and restore counties without life's most precious grandchildren or children. The ages, the wages, till we get it under control. On Monday, the 9th of 11/9, like the opposite of 9/11.
I did a play-by-play of his State of the Union address. Man, was he jacked. But he used the word folks like 40 times, folks. So I never used it. I used to use it. It used to nice, 1 or 2 times in a speech. But groceries are up 22%, eggs are up 50%, electricity is up 40, 50, 60%, gasoline is up 56%. Car insurance, you can't even get it. It's up 52% if it's available, and then if you need it, they don't give it to you. They fight you like hell.
And it is now my great honor to introduce the President-elect of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
This November, the people of Minnesota are going to tell crooked Joe Biden, right? The apprentice, you're fired. Get out of here. Get out. You did a lousy job. Worst president in history. You did a terrible job, crooked Joe. His inflation catastrophe is, in effect, a colossal tax on American families. We will call it the Biden inflation tax.
Oh, it feels so good to be Joe.
You don't know about
Biden.
I just came up with it. Like, it's the biggest tax in history. It's called an inflation tax. It's about 50%. This is like going to Congress and raising your hand for a 50% tax. That's what it is. When I left office, and we had virtually no inflation. We had nothing. We had only success. Yet in the past 3 years, it's an amazing thing. Yet in the past 3 years, the tax has cost us an average, if you think the average Minnesota family is a staggering $28,000. Think of that. Who could think of that?
Anyway, who cares?
$28,000 in tax. And the Biden price hikes are continuing to drain $1,165 from the typical Minnesota family budget every single month. I mean, think of these numbers. These numbers are staggering. And, if somebody got a little bit of a wage increase, it doesn't matter because the prices have gone up so much. It's a sad thing. Now they want to go to an EV. Everybody has to have an electric. They don't go far. By the way, that ends on the first day.
You know that I am who he is. I mean, you know who his character. Yeah, you know my character. Who's on first? And I don't know. You're my reputation for honor and telling the truth. Why don't you be anxious for everything, stupid?
Blamed his economic disaster on companies shrinking the size of their sticker bars, okay? Can you believe that? But it's a funny thing. I don't know if you can see it out there. Does anybody have good eyes out there? Because this is, okay, so I just got this today. Somebody handed it to me. It's weird, and not as a joke. I said, anybody have any Tic Tacs? And the guy said, yeah, I have one. Look at the size of that sucker that we've ever had. And Biden blamed his economic disaster on companies shrinking the size of their sticker bars, okay? Can you believe that?
Period that we're in right now and the 7 years that follow. But I didn't know that there'd be a huge, gigantic bovine named Knickers.
Funny thing, I don't know if you can see it out there. Does anybody have good eyes out there? Because this is, okay, so I just got this today. Somebody handed it to me. It's a weird, and not as a joke. I said, anybody have any Tic Tacs? And the guy said, yeah, I have one. Look at the size of that sucker. Can you see 2 or 3 days of income? I don't know. What do they do? You know, you're spoiled. You're a lot of rich, very rich people. You know, you set all sorts of records tonight. Have you heard that? You set attendance record and you set a money-raising record. But can you imagine if you miss a couple of days of work, can you imagine you can't pay your bills? I mean, we have the highest percentage of that we've ever had. And Biden blamed his economic disaster on companies shrinking the size of their sticker bars, okay? Can you believe
Named
it?
Knickers.
But you know, it's a funny thing.
Giant steer Knickers would be a Snickers. Giant steer Knickers would be a Snickers.
I don't know if you can see it out there. Does anybody have good eyes out there? Because this is, I can explain it. And a poll came out today, 88% say that these indictments are bullshit. I can explain it. And a poll came out today, 88% say that these indictments are bullshit. So that's a very positive thing. And right? He is so full of shit, this guy. Terrible. Terrible. Thank you very much. True. For the job we did, you know, with this unknown dust that happened to fly in from China, the pandemic, as they call it, COVID, as I call it, the China virus. We want to be accurate. A gift from China. But unlike Joe Biden, who will destroy Medicare and Social Security with his border invasion, the military kept it from going to the rest of Salamini, al-Baghdadi. I got a lot of credit, Space Force, but we never got credit for the job we did. You know, with this unknown dust that happened to fly in from China, the pandemic, as they call it, COVID, as I call it, the China virus. We want to be accurate. It's China's fault. A gift from China. But unlike Joe Biden, who will destroy Medicare and Social Security with his border invasion, you know, when you let millions of people come into our country, you're destroying Medicare, you're destroying your hospitals, you're destroying Social Security. I'll always
says I'm going to shut down the virus, not to the country. It's inevitable because the violence caused the country in a large shutdown in part. Why businesses have gone under, why schools are laughing at you, Joe, and why so many have lost their living, and why they're concerned that there's other
Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors. They deserve it. They deserve it. They have to be protected. We'll never change it, and I didn't change it. We've also gotten abortion out of the federal government and back to the states, which is a very big thing. Something we have to talk about, because a lot of Republican politicians really don't know how to talk about it. If you remember, Earth will make a decision on what to do with the baby. This long-term, very contentious people, and it's really, it's been sort of amazing because it's really calmed down a lot. I think you see that, Tom. It's calmed down a lot. It's now a vote of the people, and our country can finally come together. This issue has been going along for 51 years.
24. 3 days later, this bridge collapsed. But in 1973, 3 years before I was born, and I'm 48 years old. I mean, coming up, 47, 48. So 48 and 1973, 3 years before I was born, that was 51 years ago. To this date today. 3 years after I recorded this footage here in our
and it's been very, very nasty. It's been a rough
the bridge
issue.
collapsed. But not only that,
and our country can finally come together. This issue has been
Floyd's
going along
bridge
for 51 years,
hit.
and it's been very, very nasty. It's been a rough issue. And until maybe 10 years ago, all they talked about was they wanted to get it back to the states. We brought it back to the states, and now the states are deciding. And
And then, so this has been going on for 51 years. This is the furthest video that I recorded that lined up with my imagery before I was actually born. So before the foundations of my life, Robin, Henry T's time, it's T's time. Before T's time, in 1973, and 2024, 1973, lining up at 2024. 3 years before I was born, this video, 3 days after the birth of 33 songs and 21 artists within a year's period of time. 3 days later, the bridge collapsed as the bridge in Pink Floyd's video crashes into it. So this has been going on for exactly.
has been going along for 51 years, and it's been very, very nasty. It's been a rough issue. And until maybe 10 years ago, all they talked about was they wanted to get it back to the states.
Here comes
one of the nations that are big. But
the new
don't you think, I watch Israel and I watch those rockets go up, 300 rockets go up, and virtually every one of them is knocked down. Well, we're a big target. And the level of power, the level of power of these weapons, especially the nuclear weapons, the power is so incredible. We deserve to have a dome like other countries have domes, like Israel has a dome. Think of Israel without the dome, without the Iron Dome, or whatever you want to call it, but that's what it is. And it was largely manufactured, and it was largely conceived by us. We can do something that was so incredible. It really will be a safety net, and I think we deserve to have it. And again, and much of it will be built actually in a place called Minnesota. A lot of it's going to be built right here. One of the nations that are big. But don't you think, I watch Israel and I watch those rockets go up, 300 rockets go up, and virtually every one of them is knocked down. Well, we're a big target. And the level of power, the level of power of these weapons, especially the nuclear weapons, the power is so incredible. We deserve to have a dome like other countries have domes, like Israel has a dome. Think of Israel without the dome, without the Iron Dome, or whatever you want to call it, but that's what it is. And it was largely manufactured, and it was largely conceived by us. We can do something that was so incredible. It really will be a safety net, and I think we deserve to have it. And again, it's made in the USA. It really works. I mean, they shot down every missile, maybe one got through, but they shot down close to 300 missiles. Now think of what would happen if they didn't have it. 300 missiles. You might not even have in Israel right now. We need that same kind of protection for ourselves. We have to have it. Today we're taking on some of the most menacing forces and vicious opponents, or people that our people have ever seen. We've never seen anything like what's happening. But no matter how hateful and corrupt the communists and criminals we're fighting against may be, you must never forget, this is not a nation that belongs to them. This is a nation that totally belongs to you. It belongs to you. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our American liberty is your God-given right.
Well, I mean, to the ones that, you're a goddess, like a Statue of Liberty, sure, but
from Rochester to Duluth, from Marshall to Minneapolis, and from St. Cloud to St. Paul, this state has pioneered. I mean, you have been pioneered by men and women who braved the wilderness and the frontier to build a life for themselves. This is a nation that totally belongs to you. It belongs to you. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our American liberty is your God-given right. From Rochester to Duluth, from Marshall to Minneapolis, and from St. Cloud to St. Paul, this state has pioneered. I mean, you have been pioneered by men and women who braved the wilderness and the frontier to build a life for themselves and their families, and they love your state and they love our country. They were farmers and miners and manufacturers and shipbuilders, soldiers and lumberjacks, and they helped build this country into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. But now, we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence and willpower and strength. Think of that. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, but we are not going to allow this horror to continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation. We were respected all over the world. Everybody respected us, and we will soon be a great nation again. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. We don't have a choice. 2024 is our final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We don't have a choice.
Why don't you be anxious for everything, stupid? Anxious for honor and telling the truth. Why don't you be anxious for everything, stupid?
2024 is our final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. We don't have a choice. 2024 is our final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media. We will drain the swamp. And we will liberate our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like those patriots before us, we will not bend, we will not break, we will not yield, and we will never give in, we will never give up, and we will never, ever, ever back down. With your support, we will go on to victory, the likes of which no one has ever seen before. We will evict the worst president in the history of our country from the White House on November 5th, 2024. The great silent majority is rising like never before, and under our leadership, the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer. Like 4 years ago, you were not forgotten.
the country. I am such a character.
Definitely are.
And this country is on the ballot.
But you are
Our
forgotten now.
characters on the ballot.
We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again.
Let's see.
September 13th, 2020. Trump spotted in Walmart not wearing a mask. He is peacefully protesting his First Amendment right. So that was about 4 or 5 months after the covering of the mask started with everybody. So I figured
Good evening. How you doing?
Is that a mask?
No, I don't wear a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask. Don't get me to wear a mask, okay?
We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again.
Don't forget to vote for me, people,
We will
okay?
make America free again. And we will make America
Broken
great
promises, promises.
again. Thank you.
Good, buddy. Don't forget to vote.
so. This is
My medical card. Hey, man.
this is before
It's kind of hard to breathe. I mean, I understand what Robin's talking about. Okay?
Trump.
I don't even have my card with me. At least she knew that I wasn't going to wear a mask. Because apparently, Miss Abbott knows by now, Trump doesn't wear a mask. He's not afraid to show his face. These are pretty cool.
This is when it was mandatory to wear a mask.
Keep the gun, kids. Keep the gun. I always. Excuse me. Do you know where the juice aisle is?
Just all the way down into groceries
Okay, down there?
and take a left.
Down there?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I need some
She
juice.
didn't even know I was Trump.
Uh-oh, ninjas. Hey, are you a ninja? They said wear a mask. I won't do it. Oh my God. You know what I forgot? My card. I don't have my credit card. They don't accept cash. Oh man, I'm the president of the freaking United States. I can't even buy juice. Your hand signals there. Your party success. We're going to bring it down. We're on the road to success. But I'm cutting down the taxes. He wants to raise the taxes. I'm going to kill any dang tax. And you want to raise taxes and regulations. Look, it will kill you in a
November
split
1st,
second. Okay?
Before he
I
lost.
represent all of you. Whether you represent or not, Johnny Adams. Me. I'm going to make sure I'm there that you're represented. Barack Obama's by me. Because I'm going to give you hope. Where we're going to move. Yeah, right. That was Barack Obama's slogan. Choose science. Where we're going to move. Yeah, right. That was Barack Obama's slogan. choose science over fiction.
This run for months now. I want to thank Mr. Philadelphia. He's... Listen, my first job was at a Baskin Robbins. We see him operating every single day. We see him in neighborhoods. And by the way, while he's doing all that, it distracts all of us from the truly destructive actions that